What is going on, guys? We are back on another rebuild on Madden 23, and today it is of the Las Vegas Raiders, a team that, man, did it go wrong so quickly. Ironically enough, if you consider, preseason expectations to where they actually landed, them and the Broncos were super, super close in that category, and they're both in the same division. We were all expecting that this may be a 4-playoff team division, yet the Raiders and Broncos, well, I will say the Raiders were super close on a ton of games. Very far from that reality. Now, everyone was talking about Devontae Adams, joining the team and, how dangerous they were going to be with, Derek Carr and Renfro and Adams and Waller. But the problem with that is that offensive line, that defense, that offensive line, not good at all. You have Colton Miller, who's really good, and then Mutai. He's okay, he's decent, and then everything else sucks. Parham looked pretty decent early on, and that went to crap early, and then as far as the defense goes, it's just awful. It's just awful. You have Max Crosby. They were probably hoping that Chandler Jones would just be such a force on the other side that, it would mask a lot of things. If you have a Max Crosby and a prime Chandler Jones, playing at the same time, you can mask a lot of that stuff. But Chandler Jones just wasn't close to prime. Max Crosby was by far the best defender. To be fair, he was one of the best defenders in the entire league. DBs need some work. I did re-sign Rock Yassin to a 2-year $13, I believe. I just looked at, the market, and I looked at, how bad things could get, and I'm like, it's not great right now. Definitely not, but it could get worse. Interior of the line, we need help. Linebackers, Spillane is... I don't even know if I would consider him a bandage on the wound. I don't even know if I would consider that. There's so much work we needed to have on the defense. However, even after the big signing of Jimmy Garoppolo, there still could be a question mark at that quarterback spot. The Jimmy Garoppolo situation, technically, if they wanted to, after next year, they can get rid of him, save $10 million, do take a, $18 million dead hit, but save $10 million from his 28, cap hit that he's supposed to have. And then the year following, it's like they can pretty much get rid of him for nothing. So the Raiders are definitely in a situation where they have a stable quarterback situation. However, that doesn't lock them in. Like the Saints, they couldn't really use a high pick on a quarterback because they have so much in Derek Carr. Whereas the Raiders, they could easily draft Levis or something at 7 and they wouldn't feel bad about it, And I would admit that Jimmy Garoppolo probably does win the starting job. He is far from bad. He is definitely far from bad. Considering the quarterback market, I don't even think the deal that the Raiders got him on was even bad. We also have 2 free agent offers. Foster Moreau. I know that there was a couple of fans that definitely wanted to keep him around. And as far as the way the tight ends look right now, I mean, you definitely want to draft someone if you can. Maybe even a Darnell Washington, start of the second round. But I think for now, we want to make sure we at least have somebody there, and we're still not going to have that. But we do get Mr. Devin Bush, who I'm pretty sure is a free agent at least. I don't remember seeing him sign anywhere. And Foster is like, I'm holding out for a better second on the depth chart job. That's literally all he's going to get. We're one of the only teams that have a spot for him as a starter. And he is joined on a 2-year $10, which... even that might be slightly low. It seems like everyone and anyone who's anybody is getting, top dollar in free agency, which that's usually how it is. But with one of the weaker free agent classes we've seen, it's even crazier this year that it's going the way it is. And I don't worry about the, I don't know if it actually changed, but I fixed the Jacoby Myers contract. The game had him higher than, what they got him for in real life. So don't know if that means anything to anyone, but fair enough. I also want to see the mock draft. What do they actually have us taking? I normally don't pay attention to this, but I'm curious. Anthony Richardson at 7. I mean, the upside is there, but the accuracy, not so much. It's mock draft 5, mock draft 4, mock draft 3. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I don't know who to draft. I really don't. I think it would be wise to go quarterback, but at the same time, maybe not. I mean, I think Levis is worthy enough. I don't know if I would take the risk on Anthony Richardson if I was the Raiders, but Levis at 7, I think I could get behind. Still Anthony Richardson at 7, huh? Jalen Carter has seen, the little bit of turmoil. I don't know, dude. I don't know. All right, let's see it, Bryson. Let's see it, Bryson. Damn it, Bryson, you lied to me. Okay, so someone commented, which I actually thought was a decent idea, which I'm surprised didn't work. that maybe turn off the draft prospects to see if, maybe that would change the way the draft went, especially the first pick overall. And that did not work, sadly. But what can you do? All right, so pick 2 overall should be quarterback. It is Bryce Young. At least pick 2 overall has been pretty much consistent with what's likely to happen. This has almost always been Stroud at 4, which, I mean, at this point, there's an argument that 3 quarterbacks could be gone. So it's like, do you consider this a realistic rebuild still if you take Levis? Although Anthony Richardson could be a Colt, I would say there's a better chance that they would take Levis instead, but I have seen a lot of people say Anthony Richardson at 4. I don't know what to do here, because they could really use tackle, they could really use corner. I mean, who couldn't use edge? I mean, it's like impossible to have enough edge rushers. I mean, there's talent across the board. I really like Brazil, as they obviously need D-line. I don't know. Like, do you just go quarterback? It would kind of defeat the purpose of the rebuild, though. And I don't know if I could start a 24-year-old quarterback, right? Like, it would defeat the purpose of the rebuild of Jimmy Garoppolo, 77 overall, who definitely has tons left in the tank. Will Levis, bro. Could you see a trade out of this spot because there's still a quarterback on the board? At this point, unless somebody trades up in front of the Raiders, there still should be a chance that some quarterback is here. We just lost out on Gonzalez, who would have been a bit more of a solid pick. I mean, the Raiders need a lot on defense. You can almost argue that they could replace 9 players on their defense. Maybe 8, realistically. Do you trade down to add more value? I mean, I don't see why not. See what the Bears got for a quarterback trade. This would be another quarterback trade. Maybe you get like 2 late firsts, which would be huge. All right, Kalitro, just forget about. But pick 7 and 90 for 20, 37, and 52 from the Seahawks. This you would assume would be edge rusher, which would be kind of a big win for them. And it is. So Tyree Wilson to the Seahawks, definitely a possibility. However, do you want to pay that premium price with the idea that maybe there is a team looking to trade up to get their quarterback in that position? I don't know, but I think it's a fair trade, and overall, I think it's a good pick for them, so it is what it is. The Falcons kind of maybe get robbed. Nolan Smith of the Bears, that'd be interesting. And Brazil to the Texans, very interesting, very interesting. I was going to actually maybe trade up for him. We would have gained at least a second-round pick even after a trade-up. Anthony Richardson to the Packers, ugh, so annoying. But once again, Levis is still there. There's an unlikely chance. Quarterback is just going to be reached upon no matter what the true value is. The thing is, though, offensive line is still there. Do you maybe wait until Broderick Jones or Paris goes and then trade up? I mean, there's a good chance that these guys are gone in general, but, it's a draft. Nothing's set in stone. They're linemen after all. The Lions probably wouldn't take tackle. They're actually pretty good in the offensive line part. But the Buccaneers would. So I think we should trade up and give them maybe a 4th. I mean, this isn't the craziest trade-up spot. We're giving them added value. They're gaining like a 5th extra in value when you compare the 2 picks together. I think this is going to be linemen. As much as I think that, obviously in the the rebuild itself, we can easily get someone just as good as Paris Johnson. Oh, but Devon Witherspoon and Deonte Banks are still there. Yeah, we can get linemen later easily with these picks, but I want realism. I think they have such a need for tackle, and these guys, we know they're star, but in real life, it doesn't work that way. But man, we could use corner, and there are 2 good corners there. And like I said, with Will Levis, I'm going to ignore him because he's got to be gone in the top 10, so I'm just going to ignore him. It would be a steal and a half, but he's just not going to be there. Sure, we're going to go with the ultra-athletic Deonte Banks, who's obviously jumping the board like a madman at this point, and he looks amazing. And we go to the start of the next round, and if Torrance is there, I might make a trade up. We need every lineman position, but he is by far the best right guard. And he is still there, so I'm going to go with him. Very good run blocker. Also, I kind of just glanced over the Josh Jacobs situation. I imagine the tag is just to buy more time to actually re-sign him, but for him to have played, honestly, as well as he has ever since being a Raider, and not get a legit deal by now is really, really frustrating. As far as Saquon goes, he's had some major injuries, whereas obviously Jacobs, has been a couple of injuries, but it's not been major, And with this pick, we are going to shore up the offensive line a little bit with Osiris Torrance. We haven't drafted in a rebuild since he was like a 4th-round projected guy. Welcome to the squad, big fella. And then I want to be slow, but as much as I want Darnell Washington, I think that would be a great pick. I can't trade up for a tight end in a class like this. And Darnell Washington is still there, so we have a decision to make. Of course, so is Quentin Johnson and JSN and Musgrave, but I think Darnell Washington could be there. I think he could be the guy. But you also have Tucker Kraft a little bit later. Man, we really need D-line, though. I might have to take a look at the D-line first, and then if not, I might just go Darnell Washington, get a big body for that offense. They love to double down on offense, right? So it's like, it only makes sense to do it again. And screw it, we're going Darnell Washington, baby. Oh, he's actually hidden now. Bengalito with the dev upgrade. Last time we took him, he was normal, and I was still going into this with expectations that he was normal dev and still willing to take him, but at hidden, we're kind of talking a little bit here now, aren't we? We're all chit-chatting a bit. Still have a lot of draft picks. The trade down with the Seahawks has been amazing. We obviously traded a little bit to get back up in certain spots, but overall, we're in a good spot. Jalen Duncan, I don't know if I've ever drafted him, but tackle is definitely a need, but I kind of want to just go with one of our day 3s, even though that's really risky. What do we want? You can use almost any type of D lineman for this team. Ika wouldn't be the worst. Like the Goblins in Hogwarts Legacy, we're going to get a monster nose with Siaki Ika. Hidden development trait, 93 strength, 21 years old, 6'4", 354. Maybe check out the second channel. Been playing Hogwarts Legacy, speaking of. Maybe leave a like and subscribe here while you're at it. Why not? Why not? Let's make sure that we're not moving on to an absolute death zone. We've done an okay job so far, but I will say drafting a guard a little high is questionable. Same with tight end, especially when you're the Raiders who have found talent in the 4th and beyond rounds. But I just like Darnell Washington too much for them. I just do. I think we can go to 7 and still get another DT. I would like to get Byron Young to have some depth and some potential at the position. A cornerback wouldn't hurt. And we still do need a damn tackle, but we'll see. Let's go to 7. Should still be able to get somebody at 7. Question is, we don't have much after that. Yeah, 5th-round pick. Oh, Thule! Where the hell do you think you're going? Not to the Raiders, apparently. That's the sad fact of life. Jervon Dexter. I know people are up and down about him. Jacqueline Roy. We definitely need at least one tackle, though. We can't leave this without a tackle. DB would be great, too, though. I'm going to trade down a little. Just a little. I need to add, another 5th or something. I think the Jets are doing the best they can for us here. They've tried. They're giving us 77 with a 5th. It's 6 spots, which is going to cost us some starters. Christopher Smith's a really good safety for them. Jervon Dexter would have been a decent name. Tucker Kraft. Oh, wow. The Patriots with Tucker Kraft. That's an interesting name drop there for them. And Mike Morris goes. So that DT position definitely got lighter in between those picks. Gained that 5th, though. What's our situation looking like here? Jacqueline Roy, and that's it? Man, oh man, is it time for us to get a new name similar to Pickens in our... What the hell was it? The Saints rebuild? Jacqueline Roy, why not? Normal development trait, 86 strength. Let's hope he can develop. And even though I really don't think Bilal Nichols is the guy for them, does he have to start another year? I'm just saying. I don't know. I think Robert Scott, because of his youth, is going to be my guy. So Robert Scott, 6'5", 21, normal dev, who I honestly thought was hidden, but that is an L. And I know Blake Freeland is superstar in the class still, but that's kind of cheese using that knowledge. Just a little bit of cheese. And honestly, even though it's going to leave us with a lot of holes, we don't have the capital to trade up anymore, I don't think. So pick 8 is going to just have to be skipped to, and hopefully there's somebody there, which Bowl is still there, but I got to kind of take a look at the projections. I don't want to grab someone that's just not expected to be even close to around there. So I'm going to take Byron Young. He's supposed to be kind of a mid-4th still here. I'm going to allow it. What the hell? Where's his athleticism? Didn't he kill it in the combine? So we will have to edit him. The projection's still fair and it's still fine, but as far as like that athleticism goes, he is so much faster than that. And we're going to grab cornerback Terrell Smith. I know we already grabbed a cornerback earlier, and it was a good pick, but I'm going to grab another one with a little bit of athleticism as well. 93 speed, 92 excel. What was our other 5th round looking like? Oh my god, we don't have another 5th round. We've already used both. Well, that's a little bit of sell, ain't gonna lie. Who do we have there remaining? We still had Bull, didn't we? We had Bull and Daniels. We could have really used a linebacker too, but I think we're going to make one final trade up for Bull and finish the draft out. Once again, definitely costs us a bit of future capital as well, but I think we did a pretty good job landing some talent. 3/7? If I gave them like the remainder of my draft class, would they just be like happy with it? 3/7 and a 5th I think would be fine. Nah, I might actually ask for one of my 7ths back. I think a 5th and 2 7ths is fine. How about I take a 7th next year? That's got to be fair. Wait, what the hell did I even trade? All right, so we fixed it. We gave him our 6th for the 5th. So basically it was a 6th and 2 7ths for that 5th and a 7th next, which is, you know, if they're looking at depth, you know, they're definitely getting more depth out of that trade. But, you know, they are kind of taking the L on that one, I ain't going to lie. But normally our trades are pretty fair, and this is a 5th round pick, so stop yelling at me. An actual proper tackle, whereas Scott maybe could play guard, but Dante Bull is going to be our choice. Okay, well, it's not could. He's definitely playing guard because Bull is hidden. And then in the 7th round, if Latu's still there, I might take him for depth. And then we're going to take Billingsley in the 7th round. Like we said, with depth, there was no Latu. So W or L? I don't know. Defense seems to be the biggest of needs. Didn't land a quarterback, which is a huge L. We should have grabbed some sort of prospect. But didn't get the tackle that we were hoping for. However, 75 overall cornerback, which kind of led to the 76 overall Osiris Torrance. You know, I'm just saying, you know, we got Darnell Washington. There's some really high overalls in here. We got 4 really high overalls from round 1 to 2, which obviously 2 of these guys would not have been here if not for the trade down. So you could argue that it would have been like Paris Johnson and maybe Darnell Washington, whereas we got Torrance and Ika, which is a lineman anyways, maybe not a tackle, but still a lineman. We're going to up the speed of Byron Young, who's going to be a backup. And overall, I felt like we did a good job. I think we did all right. But at the same time, oh, he's not bad. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to say we did a crap job. Although I actually would. I usually do. I actually crap on myself all the time if it's incorrect. He was very fast. I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. All right, we have our roster for year 1, and man, I still, like, even at this moment, I'm debating, like, did we make the wrong call not going for Levis? But my personal opinion, my gut feeling is that he won't even be there in real life at 7. I think he's gone to the Colts. I just feel like he's a Colt. Unless at pick 1, the Panthers get buck wild and it's not Stroud/Bryce Young, I think Levis is a Colt at 4. So in my opinion, it would be Anthony Richardson, unless, like I said, the Panthers got wild. They took Anthony Richardson or something, and then, you know, Stroud was there at 4, at 7 somehow. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see Levis making it to the I mean, I can see it, but I think he's going to be a Colt. So Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe we go for a quarterback next season, especially if he's bad. But, you know, they have stability, so they don't have to go QB. There's a decent chance they do, but they don't have to. This is what the offense, just looks like, though. Really good players. Center is Parham, a little bit smaller size, so I slapped him in at center. Scott might be a wasted pick. We'll see. But, you know, a lot of potential on the offense, especially with Darnell Washington as well. And then defense, would like to do a little bit more for the interior, but I suppose we drafted 2 guys decently high. Cornerback has definitely been improved. We have 3 guys that may be like futures, really good players when you consider Smith, but right now Rock Ya-Sin will be the number 3. Free safety needs to be upgraded. Linebackers, there really wasn't much more I could have done. No matter what, we were going to be starting some sort of 70-ish overall, at best, star development trait player, so that's the best we could do. Next season, unless we decide to use Young, right outside linebacker needs to be grabbed, middle linebacker needs to be grabbed, 1 or 2 DTs need to be grabbed, and a safety, whereas on offense, outside of quarterback, maybe we don't need to worry too much. Interesting. I mean, he's a pass rusher, so the best I could really do is block shed for him, but rookie focus. I guess, making progress. I don't even know. I haven't seen one of these in ages. Usually it's just like rookie mentorship or something, but I suppose that's like a dev up one. So we're having a pretty good start to the season, I have to admit. Looking at the re-signings, though, outside of Josh Jacobs, we're looking pretty good. I will say it's hard to tell how much somebody like Josh Jacobs would get because he's not as dynamic as some of the guys that have gotten huge money, but he is still insanely talented. I think a 5-year 65 is not enough. That's what I think, obviously. And honestly, I think because of the money per year that he's asking for here, I think I'm going to edit his contract. I think what I was offering was very fair. How many running backs are you seeing these days that are getting 7-year contracts, dude? We're going to be giving him a 5-year, $72 million deal, which would make him technically the second highest paid running back, because the other two that would be just slightly ahead of him would be Kamara and then Zeke, who's now gone. So clearly those are contracts that both of those teams are trying to get out of, whereas Christian McCaffrey, a little bit more dynamic. I know the injury concerns are there, but he's making like 16 per, but it's not a 5-year deal. So I think this is totally fair, and anyone that wants to cry about me editing the contract, this is top dollar, dude. This is literally a lot of money. And hell, I don't even think that's correct. I think I'm actually paying him too much there because I think that edits his current year. So I think I actually needed to add an extra year to that because of the tag, which I suppose doesn't really save any money because it's still like 14 mil per. All right, we got one of our top weapons signed up. All right, it was a wavery season, but I think we have snagged a playoff spot, and we've snagged the entire division, actually, which is really awesome. Let's take a look at what those numbers look like. But first, let us take a look at how our season went. So we went like 7-2 to start the year. Then we were on a mad slide, but then we won 3 in a row. The Chiefs may have even missed the playoffs. I think they were 8-8 when we played them and we beat them. So at 8-9, I don't think they're gonna make it there. Who the hell is Britton Brown? Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo, a pretty good season. In my opinion, that's a season that should give him an 80 overall, so we're probably going to boost him to an 80 after this season. And anyone crying again, oh, boosting players. Like, yeah, well, if a guy sucks, I can't boost him, or the AI, the game's not going to be able to boost him like they normally would in real life. So would a season like this make Jimmy Garoppolo a 72 overall? Because that's probably where he's headed after this season because of regressions. Josh Jacobs, very good season. Devontae, okay, but that would be really bad for real life. Hunter Renfrow, not great. Jacoby Myers would be such a wasted money contract. Yep. Darnell Washington, good touchdowns. Yards are a little low. And then looking at blocking, not great. Sack totals, though. Max Crosby, Chandler Jones with 8, Roy with 5, Ika with 3.5. Not great from the interior. Deonte Banks, maybe rookie of the year, maybe superstar dev. I feel a lot better about not going for Levis if he's a superstar. Zubar with a kick return touchdown, not bad. MVP, Jalen Hurts. What's his overall? 89. Where the hell Jimmy Garoppolo? Not on the list, though. Where's Jimmy Garoppolo? I still don't understand. Wait, so who the hell is this? Oh, I forgot to change him. I forgot I had to make a trade to the Panthers. I was wondering who the hell that was. Yep, whoops, my bad. Panthers are about to be in for a rude awakening. And Deonte Banks was Rookie of the Year, so that should be a superstar cornerback with tons and tons of potential. Josh Jacobs should be an X factor, and that kind of be it. But outside of that, not bad. 11-6. If you tell me the Raiders, you tell the Raiders fans they're being 11-6 this year, they would laugh at you. They would laugh at you. I would probably laugh at you, but they would laugh at you for sure. How would you go from 6-11 to 11-6 with the change up that has happened? I'm sorry if any moves have... Wow! Chargers killing it. Any moves have happened, in between this rebuild being, recorded / uploaded to the actual time. But everything as of right now, I can't imagine the Raiders are going to do too much more in free agency. 21-23. This is a really good game between two rivals. I'm not even mad. Even with a loss here. Okay, now I'm getting a little pissed. Now I'm getting a little mad because we had a chance and we just blew it. Did the defense get the stop? 4th and 1, coming in. I mean, if you're them, you definitely just try to go for the jugular here. There's literally no reason to kick this field goal. Defense has to have it. A have-to-have-it situation. And that was a terrible run commit. It was like 5 players wanted to go to the one right side. Eckler killed us. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I know he had 2 interceptions, but 400 yards, not bad. Josh Jacobs was horrible. For how good of a season he had, 10 for 14 against that front. Wow, okay. And I don't even think, I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't even have them with Kendricks. You know, like it's not updated because I can't update every move. I'm telling you, that would take too long. Each rebuild would take like 2 hours to set up. Yeah, that's a really good season. And from, rebuilds we've had lately where we've struggled to make the playoffs with teams that deserve it, it's a nice little fresh change-up. I like it. I like an 11-6 early, even though it probably hurts the longevity of the rebuild, but it's nice to see. And the Falcons versus the Colts, with the winner being the Colts, right? Because they got QB? No, I guess not. It's the Falcons. Interesting. All right, DevOps, we should see a Jacobs one, probably a Jimmy. We do see a Jimmy, and we do see a Jacobs. We see a Jimmy. That's weenier. Of course, Banks is a superstar, so as much as, I really wanted that quarterback, getting Banks to superstar after 1 year, you got to consider it a win, right? You just have to. And then Chandler Jones goes to X Factor again, but assuming his number is like nowhere near, oh my Lord, to say we got to move on, but that doesn't seem to be a possibility. But like I said with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think an 80 overall is fair for the way he played. Even that might be low, but I don't want people crying. Ooh, speed upgrade for Josh Jacobs, which is kind of busted. So we still have to pay Chandler Jones, as in, like, we can't get rid of him. Oh my, Devontae doubles his money next season. But you can't get rid of him because his pen is, like, deadly high. But the contracts aren't terrible around here, I suppose. So definitely could spend a little bit of money in free agency if we wanted to. Got a lot of guys on rookie deals and a lot of guys that need contracts that we don't want to keep anyways. So I think you got 2 DBs you have to pay, and then that might be debatably it, unless I just completely forgot about someone up there on top. But yeah, I think we're good for another like 2 seasons where we could spend a good 50 mil here if we wanted to, because we have about 73. Renfro, I mean, he's a guy that I think you let go, right? Like, you don't really want to pay a guy that's already not the fastest in the world when he's going to be like 29 years old. Great route running, obviously, but I don't know. The ceiling's kind of already reached, and I don't know. We'll see. But looking at free agency, Nick Bosa would be great. But once again, I'm trying to keep it realistic. I don't watch a whole lot of I don't watch a whole lot of rebuilds across the board on YouTube. I don't know what the general consensus is when players like that reach free agency. But I got to imagine most people don't sign them because it's pretty stupidly unrealistic, unless they want to go unrealistic, whatever style they prefer. But I don't know, I just don't know if I want that move, whereas like a lot of other moves make sense. Like, I don't know. I just don't want to sign somebody that there's no chance of hitting free agency. But a guy like Devin White, he's an up and down player. There's no guarantees that he gets a long-term contract in real life. So, I don't know. We'll see, especially if they're a team that's rebuilding. We don't know what it looks like in a year from now. They're still kind of keeping it together, but it definitely seems like they're kind of headed towards rebuild status, especially with the age of some of their, best players. But I don't know. I think he's fair game. So we ended up getting Devin White on a 4-year 36, which isn't bad. And I did pull Shaq Mason's contract. We have a lot of youth on the interior anyways, and the position we'd be missing the most is center. Obviously, we're going to be moving this around. This is completely incorrect, but and it worked. It worked last season. We ended up making the playoffs and everything, and we could just keep improving through the draft. We don't really need to worry about a proven player unless, like I said, it's a center, maybe a tackle, but guard is not really on the list. We need D-line for sure and a safety. So edge, free safety, maybe 2 DTs, because I don't know about Roy. He's, I don't know. Even Ika I'm a little worried about, but I mean, at this point, he was higher pick, and he has more potential. Banks, my boy. I'm genuinely shocked that I'm back in this franchise. If you guys follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, I mentioned that I got locked out of this, which is why the Cowboys rebuild came up instead of this one. The fact that I didn't draft Will Levis, maybe I shouldn't even care too much I was locked out. But yeah, I kind of wanted to go a different route anyways in this one. But yeah, I mean, I would say shout out to EA for fixing it, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that kind of broke it. Also, I didn't even notice. Terrell Smith, how the hell is he star? Okay, that's interesting. So he's now the number 3 corner, without a doubt, because he's got a ceiling on him, I mean, they all have ceilings on him, but his at least isn't literally touching his head. We need edge, we need interior, we need safety, and then we could use a center. Outside of that, though, we're pretty good. But yeah, if I didn't already reiterate enough, the reason why I didn't go Levis is I really think he's going at 4. I don't see the Colts choosing Anthony Richardson over him. I don't know. And that was my defensive end. He was a 1-2. I just couldn't justify pulling the trigger on him as he had a B, either power or finesse move, and it was an A to C. I'm going to go to pick 22. There's a couple of other options here still. Not for edge, though, sadly. I might be screwed on that, but as far as, other positions of need like safety or DT, I think I'd rather go Tom McLeod, though, or McLeod. We need DT more, and he looks really solid. I'm going to go with him. And it's not even Tom, it's Dom. 76 speeds at 91 strength. That's pretty good, obviously. We moved back 10 spots to get a 4th this year. Obviously, it's going to be a late 4th, but that's a win. I was trying to get into the next round, but I would take that anyways. The Saints kind of the only ones offering us here. That's 1 spot. That doesn't really make any sense for them to do that. I guess we'll go with the Saints, get a 5th next year to move back like 4 spots, 5 spots. We're going to move down with the Buccaneers, gain 114, which is a little bit further than I'd like to go. I'd like to go around 12-ish, but that's all right. And Abdul Stewart's still there. Vega is an option, but so is Leach. We need a lineman as well. I don't know who the hell I would choose out of all these guys, though. They're all kind of like, they're all missing something, if you will. And then quarterback we do need to pay attention to. So Mixon is a must. A linebacker I think is a must. An offensive lineman is a must. And then QB probably Fitzpatrick. All right, so at pick 18, Vega is still there. I got to pay attention to linebackers, though, because we did get Devin White. So we may actually have our linebackers set, and I just completely forgot because it's been a little while. This guy actually looks kind of balanced as much as physically possible. Simon Kuhn, please be hidden. Thank you. Super strong. Don't really see him as an actual center, though. And I'm going to take a look at my other safety before I move down. I want to make sure I at least have an option. This guy's zone coverage, I don't know it. Very athletic, but I imagine it's at least at worst a D. Don't know how you could be an F zone coverage safety. We give up a 7th-round pick to move up 3 spots of the Jets because our quarterback, Parker went. So I do not want to risk the other one. We obviously need a quarterback because Jimmy Garoppolo could be hit or miss, and he's on the older side. So Chad Fitzpatrick doesn't look bad at all. Not great athleticism, but great throw power. Chad Fitzpatrick it is. Normal development trait, 92. Throw power. We'll have to see what his ratings are like and compare him to the other guy. But, I mean, it's a good pickup, I suppose. All right, both of the safeties are there. But if I were to guess, if I was to bet on one, I would say Matthew Mixon is better. So could be future starter. And by future, I mean now. As he is hidden development trait, he was just sitting there the whole time being a goon. I knew he was going to be decent. I didn't think he was going to be hidden, though. But we will absolutely take that. And do we take another lineman, I guess? All right, another 7th-round pick to move up 2 spots this time. These are pretty late, or that one at least was a pretty late 7th round anyways, which, speaking of, our next pick is a 7th-round pick. Casey Ford is going to be the guy. We'll say Adam Ward is decent, but Casey Ford, or Kerry Ford, reading is hard. Hidden development trait again, and we're kind of set on O-line for a while now. All right, I finished the draft with what appears to be a bunch of trash, but it is what it is. 75 overall for the DT. Wow, the quarterback and safety are low overalls, but 71 for the guard. The center's a 73, and then, the corner's actually all right. 70 overall for the corner. Brian Cage, I just went after athleticism, and he had it. He also had a C-man. Seaman. But of course, George Bass, he was supposed to be way faster than this. He had, I think it was a B power move at that point, and he had like a 4.68 or something, 40, and he somehow has 77 speed. I don't know what the hell I'm getting into there. And then this guy, Rod Perkins, he was like a 2-3, and he was still there. I mean, there's potential for these guys, but I'd rather just rock Chandler Jones and then draft a new position the next year. But McLeod, automatic starter. I suppose Roy is still pretty young, so give him another chance. But McLeod, can we maybe get a superstar here? That'd be great. We cannot. And then Kuhn is the super strong guard. But let me tell you, looks a little bit more like a tackle if you had to ask me. I don't know where we play him, as we kind of need a smaller center. He is star development trait. Can we get any superstars? It'd be kind of cool. The free safety, no matter what, I think is going to start. He's a lower overall, but, he should be a cornerback. He's low overall, but he has a pretty high ceiling considering he's 22 and he's hidden, I suppose. But I will say, you know, other than if he was superstar, kind of that old saying that I always have where if you're low overall, you probably want to be normal. And this guy's just good at pass blocking, but his base run block rating is okay. He might actually just start at center. We did not have a great draft, I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, we didn't have the highest pick overall, and we had no third-round pick, but we did not have a great draft at all. I am very curious to see what the Commanders did with that quarterback, because he was a little bit higher than us. I definitely would have said he was more prototypical because, you know, he's a big freaking dude. 68 overall. It was not the Commanders. It was the Texans. Didn't actually look at our guy, but holy crap, the throw power on that guy. Let's take a look at the one we had. So, Mr. Chad Fitzpatrick. Definitely not as accurate. Definitely not as strong. Definitely not as good. You know what? I forgot about Byron Young, and he's actually kind of a god. My man's is starting. Dre Roberts got off to the Falcons for a 5th-round pick. The teams that needed to tackle more are pretty much all in our division. So, yeah, had to find a team that wasn't, and we did. All right, this is the roster for Season 2. The whole offensive line is hidden or star plus, I guess. Just star plus is a better way to say it. Offense is regressing a little bit with Davante Adams, but obviously he should be good for some years more. 31 years old, he should be good for the rest of this rebuild, at least I'm hoping. Will say, though, Jacoby Myers did. Wide receiver 2 is not really, you know, that ceiling, like we keep bringing that up, is low. You know, they can't really get much better than that. And then defensively, we're hoping Byron Young just has a year. He's got plenty of potential. I mean, he is 23, but like this is better than like 90% of rookies you're going to be able to get, maybe even higher than that. You know, 78 power move, 80 block shed. That's pretty damn good, obviously. So he actually has a lot of potential, and Chandler Jones will be the backup for every spot. We can't get rid of him because of his money, dead hit, but yeah, it's definitely a lower overall team, but there is a lot of youth here, and there's a lot of decent devs, so even though it's a lower overall team, if we can just compete somehow anyways, it'll be massive because we'll be able to zoom up with those overalls. It seems like we made the right call. Jacqueline Roy, start of element rate. 5. Give me 20, dude. 85 million. Hobbs is a guy that I do want to keep. I don't want to give him a 5-year deal, though, which I suppose in real life, 4-year has been like, oh, come on, man. 4-year has been kind of the money maker in the league lately. Like, they want to get to like 29 and then need a new contract because it just seems a little more, good in the open market, I suppose. Once you hear 30, it's like, ugh, 30? Old devil. It's like 29, though. Got some years left in them. Of course, everyone else don't really need to keep them, so realistically, maybe Renfro, and then obviously Hobbs you want to work on. All right, looking pretty good again. Can we finish off strong? We can't, but we still make the playoffs at 10-7. I mean, this isn't a bad team, obviously, but it is weird for us to have rebuilds where we just struggle we have a really good team, and yet here we are with back-to-back playoff seasons with a team that, I mean, it's good, like I said, but it's not great. You know, normally we have to be way better than everyone else to be good, yet that's not the case here. We're actually doing pretty well. Jimmy Garoppolo has been great. Rushing has been solid. Receiving, you know, kind of the expected results with a Davante Adams-led team. Blocking, horrible from Bull. You can't be named Bull and give up a bunch of sacks. That's just illegal. Both linebackers, both Devons, the speedsters from the same draft class. Definitely a dev up for Devin White. Maybe the greatest free agent pickup this season, at least, by far. Byron Young could be a star. Max Crosby, really bad. I'm actually disappointed. Dom with a 7.5er, and then obviously Ika, you can't blame. Roy was awful, though. But yeah, look at the interceptions. 8 for a linebacker and Sim. Daniel Carlson, really good season. AJ Cole, you know, the best 2 special teamers on the league, you know, if you consider the combination. Yearly awards, could we? Oh, wow, MVP for a 6-11 team. Makes sense. Can we have seen, I was about to say Defensive Player of the Year, Devin White was number 4? All the way at number 4, though. Really? 8 interceptions is number 4? Number 8 in general? Oh, my, that is... I feel like that's a little bit of a scam, dude. I think that was better than that, but... Here we are against a 14-3 Indianapolis Colts team who pretty much always has CJ Stroud now. Just so annoying. Like, just... Can we just have the quarterbacks just do the right thing? Like, the teams just grab their quarterbacks and and not leave a great quarterback to a team sitting at 4. But Jimmy Garoppolo so far has been him. I mean, honestly, after a season like that, I say he should be probably an 82 overall. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think it's fair. 14 all, 21-14, 21-21. Let's see it. 28-21. It's a really close game. Very high scoring as well. Oh, that's going to be a GG, I think. I mean, there's a chance, but it's not looking great. And 4th and 3, what are they going to do? Field goal? Like, yeah, you can. And you'd look like some sort of idiot guy if you go for this and don't get it. But at the same time, it's just like, you need the touchdown at some point here anyways. Wow, these plays kind of suck. I mean, it's kind of Devontae season. No, it's Darnell Washington, and we don't get it. I'm an idiot. But I figure you're at the 5. It's hard to get out of there, whereas clearly we can't stop them in the open field. You know, they pretty much are forced to run here. If you trust in your D-line, you should get the stop anyways. And do we trust in our D-line? And wow, Banks got burned, but the throw was bad. Holy. That's the one thing that sucks about this team, though. There's not really a whole lot of speed. And Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know why I expected Jimmy Garoppolo to be a speedster. God, I am really selling for this team. Just slant Devontae again. And that's like a double. He doesn't catch it. I mean, it should be up and good. All right, so that was a lot of crap for me to play, even though, like, we're probably going to lose anyways. I just got into, like, regular, like, franchise mode for some reason. But this is what I was talking about with the open field defense. Like, look at how easy it is for them to move the ball when it's open field. You know what I mean? 2nd and 2, you got to assume it's a run commit. You don't even care if you leave someone wide open because, like, you have no choice. Well, the Colts have smoked us with 42 points. Jimmy Garoppolo, not great, but 420 yards, 61% completion percentage. It's just one team's defense did well, one team's did not. That's really all that can be said about this one. Sack totals, I mean, our defense, who should definitely be, I wouldn't say definitely a better sacker team, but with Max Crosby, better than anyone they have by, like, a lot. Maybe should do a little bit better than 0 sacks. But it is still rather early in the rebuild, and, you know, we do have a lot of low overalls. Like we said, I would have expected not even make the playoffs, especially with our recent luck in rebuilds, but it's a good try. Packers win the Super Bowl over the Ravens. See if we had any dev-ups. All right, there was a chance that Jimmy maybe would have had a dev-up, and the answer to that is no. But Darnell Washington is a superstar, 82 overall now. It wasn't a great year, but it was okay. It was good enough. Surprised, though, to see him get a dev-up there, not going to lie. And then defense, Byron Young and Devin White. Byron Young is a pretty good dev-up guy. He had a pretty good year, you know, considering the rest of the team wasn't that great anyways. Didn't really go up in overall, though. Only 2 to power move, unless they went for, like, zone coverage or something, which would be so annoying. And then Devin White is 27, is now a superstar. For our re-signings, we obviously got the main guys taken care of, and the rest are pretty much backups. All right, so edge rusher is still on the mind, but I wouldn't want to spend too much, as we once again did have a pretty good year. Holland being a free agent. I mean, the Dolphins do have quite a bit of good DBs, but I can't imagine they'd let him go to free agency. Cameron Hayward has regressed hard here. Shaq Mason. I mean, we have money, and I really want to sign someone. I don't know how well Mixon actually even played, but Holland would be a nice piece, and he's really cheap. So if we gave him like a 4-year 62, I think that's pretty fair. I think that's fair contract, and yeah, I mean, obviously we can get him for less than that, but as far as what is fair, I think for his talents and how good he is and how young he is, it definitely would be something up there in that region, which definitely sounds like a TSA pat down, if you will. And yeah, edge, I mean, other than like edge depth with a guy like Judon or something, really not an opportunity that we can be making. Well, I also didn't know that Sweat was a superstar. I was expecting that to be star dev. 5 cent. Yeah, I don't know, dude. 3-4 is even harder to get a sack in, so screw that noise. We still need DT as Roy, even though he just got star dev. I don't know if he just needs a new, like a change of scenery, new team, but he is not him for us. And Aaron Donald, would he see us as a competitor? I would say so, but also Aaron Donald being a free agent, would you say that's a realistic thing? I don't know. I think he probably retires before he joins a new team at this point. Also, imagine, like, Chris Godwin with Devontae. Do you not make that play? Like, I feel like they're going to lose one of these wide receivers soon enough. Do you not make a 4-year 88 out of Chris Godwin? I think we do. We paid Renfro. Jacoby Myers is on his final season anyways. I think you make that play. Like, he's had decent seasons with us, but they haven't been, like, truly elite. I would say that it definitely was worth the contract, but I think we can actually get rid of him here. He's an 84 overall, which is not bad, but assuming we get Chris Godwin, I'm probably going to trade him off for, like, a 4th-round pick, as his real-life dead hit here is actually only $2 million, so definitely a savings. His dead hit is like a 1.833, and then his cap hit is like 12.8. So definitely can save some money by getting rid of him, and also, like I said, I would say easily worth a 4th-round pick to the right team. But yeah, spending a little bit of money in free agency here, even Shaquille Barrett, a 1-year 7, just to have backup depth. And we do not get Shaquille. Come on, Shaquille. Let's stop it, dude. Let's be honest with ourselves. There you go. It took a little while, but we got him. All of our players, Chris Godwin involved as well. Could be the hump beater, which is, I don't know what the hell that means, but could get us over the hump. And, yeah, I mean, you got to make something, happen when back-to-back years kind of finish out similarly. And as far as Jacoby Myers, we're going to trade him to the Steelers, as they are, surprisingly, for a team that's so good at drafting wide receiver, in hell. Look at these receivers. I'm surprised they even kept Fryer. Holy, they need help. And that would be a huge boost for them. And I know it's in the same conference, but you trade for best value. That was damn near a 3rd-round pick. So we have pick 19, but I have really no position of need in general, really. And as far as, like, way up here, definitely not. So I'm probably going to end up trading this down. There's just not really a whole many needs there. I mean, we have this Barrow guy, but it's not even the biggest need in the world, as, we do have Roy. He just isn't playing well. And even then, we have the guy that EA suggested yet again, Matt Hitchens, who, I mean, they don't even need to suggest it. I would have taken him regardless of the talent grade. A finesse, those kind of guys I always go for. I mean, there's a safety. Don't really need that position. So, I mean, this is a pretty weak class in general. I was looking for some more edge depth. The best I could really find was probably Farr or McCullough. I'll probably end up just taking whoever's remaining of that bunch. I don't know who's better, but McCullough probably is a little bit better, especially since he has that old face on him, which usually those players are really good in the game for some reason. So this might just be a depth draft once again, like a bunch of linemen, maybe some defensive linemen as well, maybe a DT. The Bills kind of offering me some decent stuff here, 19. I mean, you do kind of deserve something to move back. If I could just get like 2 firsts here, that'd be awesome, but I don't think any team's willing to do that. And you know what? Philadelphia kind of offering me the juice. I get 41 this and 32 next year, which, I mean, that's a little high, but it's worth it, I think. For a running back, though, if you say so. Matt Hitchens, I think, is the best choice, and he is hidden. Those types of players are almost always normal, but we've been getting lucky lately, so I will take it. And once again, not a huge need. Would have loved to see some sort of edge rusher. So, not a lot of players that are, guys we need. I'm willing to trade down. Might even trade down for another next year pick. Green Bay, that's a great pick. I'll take that. I just don't really need anything, So we move up like 7 spots with a 6 this and a 7th next year with the Lions to take Cullen, who I actually wanted more than Cameron anyways, so suck it, nerd, I guess. Mr. Cullen looked pretty good in my book. 6'2", 22. Another hidden, super strong, decently athletic. Maybe he has a starting spot depending on his overall. Solid-looking UDFA here. I mean, that's a 5th-round pick if I've ever seen it. Look at that. I don't remember what his throw power is, but the accuracies are insane. Good throw power. So he's a little bit on the weaker side, but that is a good-looking quarterback. He's by far the best as well. I mean, it wasn't even close. This was a really bad class for quarterbacks. Like I said, this was a pretty weak class. I think McCullough, Farr was 22, right? 22, so that automatically makes McCullough the better player for what we need. So, Ja McCullough, 6'4", 21 years old. Expecting to be normal, but 84 speed's really good. Everything else, though, really bad. Holy crap. Don't know what his ratings are going to be like, but, I mean, we needed the depth, and there you go. Gonna grab another lineman, though. Danny Allen looks all right. Hidden development trait. They're so easy to find. Although that last Cowboys rebuild I did, I really struggled. Oh my, we had a really bad draft in there. It was awful. Very fast, could use the depth. Hunter Freeman. Hidden development trait again. Not bad. Kind of killing it. And like I said, it's a little bit of a reach for that quarterback, but I do like him, even though there may never be a need for a quarterback, as right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is earning his keep by far, but Nick Butler's looks too good to pass on. 91 throw power, normal dev, but unless those key ratings were lies, he should be decent. Let's see how he fared. 72, 74, 67, 71. Not the greatest of overalls. Quarterback was a 70, though. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how he was. 84 short. Definitely could work with that. But maybe not the position, not the greatest in the world. I mean, it was a kind of mid-class, I suppose. That center is solid, so we will have to compare him to who we have now. But the center we have right now, I'm pretty sure had a really good season, so I wouldn't want to move him just to move him. Who the hell is this guy? Fast as hell, 5'11". Great zone coverage, don't care enough. But I'll show you guys the quarterback class. It was terrible. Our quarterback was tied for the highest with Bryce Flott, who was, in fairness, hidden and very athletic. So both quarterbacks not definitely the same, even though they're the same overall. What is that, dev? Star dev. But our guy was literally tied for the highest overall. That's how bad the class was for quarterbacks. Here we are in Season 3, the final year of Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. And the team is better than ever. This offense is very good. The only downside is maybe the offensive line. Kuhn is not far off from being as talented as Bull. I'm kind of debating on maybe starting him. I will say the power blocking is so bad, though, whereas Bull, I would imagine, is a little bit more balanced than that. Let's actually take a look. And, yeah, a little bit more balanced indeed. But, man, it is... Bull had a really bad year, let me tell you. And he's going to need a contract soon-ish. Defensively, definitely better when it comes to the devs, but definitely question marks. Roy... do have a replacement for him. Ika, maybe. Young, we'll see, because he's already 24, so not so young. Safeties look great, though, and corners, I imagine, are great, as, we have a superstar that's not even starting, but I think Hobbs is the better player. It's just Terrell Smith, man, he's killing it at the number 3 spot. He probably deserves the start, but Hobbs did get paid that 4-year 44, which is quite a bit of money to play backup, although not really built for his main coverage. Still really good, though, so... we'll see. Maybe at next season, Terrell Smith starts. I don't know, but let's move on, as this could be the year. I doubt it, but it could be the year. We definitely have a pretty good offense in place here. $87 million in cap. Colt Miller has been amazing for this team. Do have to pay Jimmy Garoppolo because he's played well, and I think he's going to be the QB of the future. He's definitely got the capabilities. I don't know if I see it happening, but he definitely has the capabilities to be good. You got to just build the team around him, which clearly we have. At this point, a 2-year 73, which is, the same amount of money, but 2 years instead of 3. So obviously a lot more money in the end. AJ Cole has been very solid. So has Mr. Carlson. So we shall pay him as well. And our money is becoming a little bit of a problem now. Let's be honest. Oh, come on, dude. Money is definitely dropping a bit, but luckily we don't really have to pay anyone. Playoffs, 11-6, weak link, I would imagine, is the defense. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just assume we know what this is going to be about. Season, pretty damn good, and then there was a bit of a fallout, and then we won the last 2. So, pretty good season yet again in a very tough division. It's weird, though, when we lose to a team like the Commanders after beating a team like the Chiefs. It's just strange. Davante Adams is the best receiver in the league. Jimmy Garoppolo... oh, don't you tell me. Okay. Jimmy Garoppolo, 5,000 yards plus. Jacobs was solid. Davante, like I said, insane numbers, which you got to attribute that to having a guy like Godwin at his side. Renfrow was amazing. And then Darnell Washington, definitely a down year for him. Sack totals. Colton Miller, after getting paid a fortune, is now the bad lineman, whereas Bull halved the sacks allowed of last season. Byron Young, dude, gotta say it, haven't changed the scheme at all. He's been really good. And then Max Crosby's better as well. Roy was better than last year. McLeod is better. And then Ika's not really a pass rusher. Interceptions way down for Devin White, but up for Devin Bush. Maybe he gets the superstar now. Kicking, paid Daniel Carlson that 2-year 12, which is a lot. Worth every penny, though. The only miss was a block. And then AJ Cole, 52-plus yards per punt. I mean, the team looks good. Could this be a Super Bowl? It very well could be. Levis is on the Giants. Interesting. Almost won Offensive Player of the Year with Davante Adams. Any award wins? No. Davante Adams, best wide receiver. Nothing else, though. We are now a 90 overall team to the Miami Dolphins 84 overall. And I know the Chargers are no easy team to beat, but they actually took out the Chiefs. If there was ever a year to win it or, go far, this is the year. Although I will say, it's not looking like the year, as we're down by 14 points. Nice drive at the start of the second half. Nice counter with a 3-point game. Oh, defense is doing its best. Offense is taking advantage of it. And with 8 seconds left on the clock, from the 16-yard line, a touchdown wins them the game. This is insane. McLean, is that his name? And that's a pretty good tackle, but we gave him 9 yards. Here it is. Oh, my God. There's no way, dude. I'm going to use your McLeod. I don't want to be a part of this. Tackle? Wow. Good job, McLean, as you've just lost the game. Wow, that was a close call. Jimmy Garoppolo was awful. So was McLean, in fairness, but wow, that was not good. Cam Akers was decent. Josh Jacobs was obviously very solid. Receiving, pretty tame numbers. Devontae, did his thing, obviously. Max Crosby was great. Byron with a half. Interceptions, them by a lot, but we did get to ourselves to the divisional round. Might have ourselves a home game here. No, we do not, as the Chargers are facing off against someone else. Should have known that. I freaking forgot about the bye week. The Jets, 85 overall versus our 90 overall. They did just recently grab that quarterback, so that might be the reason for their successes. Winner of this one faces the Bengals or the Chargers. Definitely the tougher of the two matchups. Nice drive for Josh Jacobs. Huge rushing touchdown. Offense, though, the consistency is nowhere to be found. I mean, this offense is not playing well. Nice touchdown drive. Defense is keeping them in each of these games. But the offense, man, these turnovers, you got to stop them. You got to stop them right now. Defense, once again, giving the offense a chance. 4th and 3. I know. You're in your own end zone here, kind of, your own side of the field at least. But 3 yards with this talented offense. I mean, do you not take the chance? And there's Devontae. Uh-oh. And he holds on! It's Devontae! Holy crap! Devontae smoked him, but wow. And he throws an interception anyways. Oh my God, Jimmy, please. 4 minutes left, though. A touchdown still wins it. 3 straight incomplete. Wow. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy Garoppolo this season, but he is playing so badly. I love how they're giving us oh, you can't audible here. Actually, it was almost a better audible than what we originally had. Renfro. On 4th and 10, I mean, you kind of have to have it at this point. You have to have it. Jimmy Garoppolo's playing like crap, though. Come on, offense. I don't trust us to not throw a pick. Decent little drive, though. We do get the touchdown, but there is plenty of time left. From the 47, you need to stop. No freaking rush, though, man. We need somebody to just absolutely go off right now. And the running back is pretty open. What is our guy doing? Thank God the throw is bad. Deonte Banks. Dude, he has been very bad in the games that we've actually played. The games we've watched. He's been awful, dude. Max Crosby's getting handled by Mekhi Becton, too, I imagine. And the running back's kind of open, but Mekhi Becton just talked about they have to have it. I don't know what to run. I'm scared. Let's go with Cage. You can have the running back. You can have the running back. Come on, somebody get off their guy. And he's going to get it to him, dude. Oh, my God. I get it's a 3-man rush, but you got to get there within 10 seconds, bro. We need the block. Come on, Cage. And we're not going to get it. 1 second remaining. Oh, my. We need a miracle. And Flott's not even starting. He's their backup, bro. Come on, Lewis. Might as well return it. And that was just terrible return. Ah! Damn, dude, this defense. It's mainly the offense, in fairness, but I still want to blame the defense. That hurts. I mean, we've got beat by Zach Wilson. Come on, Jimmy G. You bot. He's so good in the regular season, and then he's been really bad in the post lately. Such an L, bro. This was our season, and he just lost it. The Bengals versus the Giants in the Super Bowl. The winner being the Giants. Any dev-ups? Jimmy G? Jimmy G? Not Jimmy G. He still played really well, though. Once again, it's just his postseason was really bad. And then defensively, Young is a superstar, but he is only a 79 overall and 25 years old now, needs a contract. This team is expensive. It is a very expensive team. I think for us to afford this team going forward, we're pretty much going to have to let any offensive lineman that needs a contract to go, even Torrance potentially. So that's the only thing I can really think of, because you got to pay Adams, Godwin, Jacobs, Jimmy Garoppolo. Colton Miller's already got paid as well. I mean, there's a lot of expensive players on this offense. I think O-line is the one casualty you have to have. So we have about $40 million cap that we can spend, but we do have to pay Max Crosby, do have to pay Devontae. We'll say those contracts are probably going to be less than what they currently are, though. Devin Bush needs a contract, but I think that's a guy you draft. So we need a linebacker, cornerback. We have to repay. Washington needs to be paid. Oof. So defensive line, I would say, because we may let Roy and Ika go because they just really haven't been great. D-line and then maybe a wide receiver. D-line, O-line, wide receiver, I guess, would be the positions of need. This is what free agency looks like, but I think you absolutely need to save like pretty much every dime. All these guys are great, but you just can't spend it. You just got to keep the money you got, I think. There's not really much we can do here. And somehow Philly was picked 10. Not sure why I had to give up a third round next year. The game just said so, I guess. But basically 10 for 20 and 52, if you will. Which obviously will start our draft. We do have a linebacker. He's a first rounder. I don't usually go first round linebackers, but if he's there, I may, because he is an A zone with a B block shed. He's also 21 years old. Insanely athletic for a guy that's nearly 250 pounds. I mean, A awareness, B block shed. It's a position of need for next year. I don't think we can keep Devin Bush. And the linebacker we drafted last year, and pretty much every linebacker going forward, especially a guy like Sheldon Carter, who looks decent, they're all going to be lower overall players, whereas this guy might actually be like a 75, 76 perhaps. I will say the tackling is only a C, but do I take the shot on him because of how athletic he is at his size? I think I'm going to. And he is hidden, 90 speed, 90 excel. 84 agility. We'll say the jumping and change of direction is pretty mediocre, which worries me, but one of the big other selling factors was the fact that he was 21. And now we definitely want a D-lineman because we're not going to pay Roy. We're not going to pay Eco. We might even trade these guys off and just start rookies, which is, I know, counter-productive, I suppose, but there's 3 really good linemen here, and I want at least one of them, maybe 2. And I don't know who to choose. I would say Kennedy is the best bet. These kinds of players, and he's 21, are almost always hidden. So I'm actually going to go Brett Kennedy right now, which he is hidden. Nice. New defensive tackle, probably nose tackle, to be honest. And then I'm going to keep moving down until we're down to just one of those 2. And I'm going to take the other one as well. Why not? Oh, actually, I should take a look at the age. If there's one that's 21, I might actually jump. Speaking of Ika, we trade him off. Ika and a 4th next year for 33 from the Vikings. Just didn't work out. I don't know. He just wasn't great for us, so hopefully he's good for them, I guess. Opposite conference, so I don't really wish ill will. But Cole Woodson, 21 years old, is going to be our new probably interior guy, or he's going to be backup for Roy, maybe for this season, then starts next season when Roy's gone. I think Kennedy's the starter. Oh, normal development trade. I mean, it's fine because we still have our hidden, so the Ika trade isn't necessarily bad. It wasn't maybe good, but it wasn't bad because Kennedy's starting anyways, and we could pay Roy if we really want to. Maybe he finally has a good year. I don't know. And I didn't actually expect this guy to be here, but we don't have a lot of players of need. Edge is still kind of a need because we don't know if we're going to be able to afford Byron Young. Jamison McAllister is an A finesse. I'm going to take a chance on him. And he is hidden, which is very rare for that position. 85 speed, 85 excel with an A finesse at 6'5" is something. It's good. It's definitely good. And I might actually try to get, I don't know if I can get a first next year for this. I basically just reverse engineered a first round pick. We trade 60, 95, and 124 this for the Colts first round next year, which I know a first-round pick for a late second, but they are getting a lot more for this year. And if you do see yourself as a contender now, and that's a good lineman, he was on my list, you wouldn't maybe worry too much about that. A 2, 3, and a 4, I mean, that is pretty good. We gained a 6 to move on to the early part of this round, and I think with this pick, we are going to be taking a lineman named Russell Brown, who looks pretty decent. Probably a little bit of a reach, especially since the position has a lot of good players, but those key ratings look great. And I knew something was going to go bad. That is an L. Gonna pick 20 now, why not? And why not is because there's nobody left. I will say Seth Redman, another edge rusher, super fast. We did just grab that other guy, though, so probably not going to do it. Tony Evans, backup running back. We actually have like no backup running backs on the roster, and normal despite the fact that he looks amazing. It's crazy that his excel and agility are only 89 with 92 speed. That's the one you'd want, though. Definitely the one you'd want. I don't know if we had a good draft. I don't know. I think with all the capital we had, we probably could have done more to secure a little bit better talent. All right, the overall is 73, 74, and even though he was normal dev, 76 for Woodson. McAllister's only a 69, but he was hidden. 73, 76 for the running back, and that linebacker was pretty much wasteful. Unless he's like a superstar, maybe an X Factor, which would be really insane. That dev doesn't mean a whole lot. Actually, probably like I said, is worse. Because you won't get XP if he gets a dev up, you know? He's actually screwed. Let's take a look at Barrow, who is 73 overall. Tackle actually was an 80, so they lied. Block shed and zone, very good for a rookie, which I suppose was a first-round pick. God, it's dry in here. Dev is star. That's a bit high for a star linebacker, but at least he was good. Kennedy. Ooh, block shed's good. Power move's decent. Let's take a look at what his dev is. He's the new starting nose tackle. He's 319. He's pretty big. Let's put him at DT and star. Man, we are not having that much luck with the hiddens. Woodson, not bad. Super strong, but sadly, like we talked about, normal dev. McAllister, raw but hidden. 77 finesse, 73 block shed. I say raw, but he's actually really good. That overall is really misleading. Star development trait, though. 52. Ooh. Let's go 55. Brown, not a bad player, but normal dev. Huge L there. And then the running back, the final guy we want to look at. Tony Evans, 76 overall. Ooh. Nice trucking when you own a big rig company. And he's star development trait. We're going to trade Devin Bush off to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick now. I mean, I think it should go without saying that I obviously know if I wanted to trade him for highest value, you could probably get like a 2nd-round pick, but that's not realistic. No team is trading for a 28-year-old, 83 overall Devin Bush, all right? But the game may say that. That's just not reality. Barrow is number 2. All right, Season 4, Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, he's been good enough, but the postseason is another story. The offense still looks great. There's obviously some aging pieces. You know, Devontae's 32. Godwin's like 30. Jacobs is probably getting close. What is he, like 30? 28? He's young. What are you talking about? O-line's solid, but we got some guys that may need contracts the right side of the line. I would like to keep Torrance if I can, but once again, O-line, we will allow that to creep away and die if it costs, if it's going to cost other positions. Kennedy's a really high overall, though. Let me tell you, he is built to succeed. At least hope. And the rest, maybe the defense isn't the highest overall in the world, but it's still decent. I can't imagine every team in the league is like a 99 everything on defense. So maybe look to replace Merrick soon, because he's actually... once again, he's not developing super well. He's 86 zone, he's 83 overall, but his ceiling is right there. I mean, maybe an overall or 2 more, and that's about it. All right, so for the first time this rebuild, we are not having a good year. Max Crosby's already not interested, and he's asking for a lot of years, dude. I'd do 27 per, but on 4 if he'd want to. Oh, this could be a tag situation. That could get ugly. Same with Devontae even. I don't want to give him until he's 36. Ooh, this could derail, let me tell you. Of course, cornerback. Wow, okay, so with the interests of the players and the money amounts, this is bad. The team is in turmoil here. We're in a really bad spot. Like, I knew it was going to get ugly this season, but really? Thank God Darnell Washington's back, because he's kind of a freak. But look at the names, bro. I will say, getting Byron Young on a 4-year 28, assuming he continues to play well, is kind of a steal. So, Bull is gone. Jacqueline Roy is gone. Renfro is gone. Who else? Torrance might be gone. I'd maybe be able to get Torrance, but we're really up against it here. Thank you. So, 11 mil left, but we have to add money to Crosby, Adams, and Banks. So, yikes. Weird name. Trayvon Merrick is now a superstar. That's a little strange. We'll take it, though. So, I don't know what happened in the division, but somebody put a spell on this division, as the whole division outside of the Chiefs was awful. I don't know how bad Jimmy Garoppolo played. We'll find out. It might be time to grab a new quarterback. We have all the draft capital in the world to do so, at least. But what the hell? Like, what the actual hell is going on here? Like, I don't understand. Jimmy Garoppolo, looking at his numbers, definitely not as good as years before. Probably on his way out here. I don't know. It doesn't look very good, compared to the other years. Lower touchdowns, higher interceptions, and definitely a lot lower yards, at least from last season. But I don't think that was still his fault, right? Like, it's very similar season to all the other years. Offensive line, Colton Miller, 19 sacks. Way to go, EA. I mean, what a product. Haven't changed the scheme this entire rebuild because we haven't needed to. Maybe we need to this upcoming season. I don't know. I think we might need to grab quarterback as well. Regardless, though, we're going to do one more season. Definitely have had some success, but just haven't been able to get quite to the big game. Interesting name drop. Treylon Burks. Interesting. Any award wins? No. And speaking of that Chiefs team in the Super Bowl, but losing nothing because it was the Cowboys. Damn it, I'm so stupid. They added insult to my injury. Any dev-ups? None on offense as expected. And then defensively, Merrick's an X factor. That's definitely something I didn't expect. Devin White has been a great addition to the team as he is now an X factor himself. X factor Merrick, huh? That is quite interesting. Obviously, Roy's gone. Hitchens could just be the one-to-one replacement for him this season, so I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, would love to see a dev up from Holland. I mean, the team looks good. Barrow, actually, how well did he play? I didn't really pay attention to his stats too much. Completely forgot that he started as a rookie. Yeah, I mean, pretty good, I suppose. Jimmy Garoppolo was pretty average that season, so I'm going to let him regress. He's still very accurate, obviously. Throw power is still decent. So I'm going to let him regress that season. I don't really feel like he deserved a fixing, if you will. The other 2 years, he was improving each year, so it was like fair enough. Let's take a look how much money we have. It says we have 64 mil. Do we actually have that kind of money? Maybe we're better off than I thought. It says we have 64 mil. What are we worried? Oh, did we not make our re-signings? Oh, yeah, we didn't actually get Crosby. We did not finish our contracts, actually. What am I talking about? Even then. 6-year 99. Thank you. We'll tag Crosby if we have to. Roy, how good was his season? I thought he did actually have a better season than normal, but was it worth it? He sucks. He's awful. And in fairness, as far as Madden goes, 11 sacks isn't bad for a tackle, but he's not worth it. Screw that. Max Crosby, how much was his ask? Is it a 5-year 100? 4-year 102. I'm offering a 4-year 112. But at this point, I don't even want a 4-year anymore. 4-year 106. I enjoyed. Well, you're not testing anything because you're tagged. Best of luck to you. One year 24.5. Welcome. 24 mil. If there's a big name interior free agent, maybe we just go all out. Maybe. Because it isn't money that you technically have to worry about right now, right? Because if it's a 1-year deal, that's gone anyway. So you will have the money to replace, players that you need to. Garoppolo is going to be gone, I would almost guarantee. And then Max Crosby, an extra 5 mil per on that deal. Devin White will probably be gone. Carlson will probably be gone. Cole will probably be gone. McLeod will have to re-sign. Yeah, I mean, we're not in the worst spot ever, but I don't know if we feel comfortable with paying a lot of these linemen or spending money in free agency here. So, I don't know, dude. I think we're just we're hoping that last year was a fluke and we get back to there this season. Henley, the X Factor, why would they let him go? Pretty weak free agent group, actually, but not my problem. I don't really need anyone. So, the first quarterback doesn't look great. The second quarterback looks better, but both of the teams in our division are at 1 and 2, and they both need QB. So we're screwed. Wait, they actually took the better one anyways, didn't they? He took the better one. They took the better guy anyways. Oh, that's an L. And they passed on the other quarterback. I mean, can you really go with a 2-3 quarterback? I think he was 21 in fairness, but like he's a 2-3 quarterback. Like, there's just no point, dude. There's just no point. I'm gonna be trading down again. Woohoo! Yeah, if they would have left the other, I honestly don't blame the Broncos. Their quarterback situation is awful, but I honestly don't blame them at all. Really would like a quarterback. Because maybe there's a team that doesn't have, maybe there's a quarterback on a team that's like a backup. Like the Jets, remember? Like he's decent to use a backup. Yeah, there's just not an option. Quarterback is scarce around here. The Titans are giving us the juice, but so are the Seahawks. What's better? I guess it's who do you think is going to suck more in the future? I'm going to go Seattle. I think their pick is like similar, but they're giving us something better for this year. Yeah, our draft picks are insane, and this is the last season, but like this is the realistic move for me, is it's just trade down when we don't need anything. Like these trade, like the Bengals, like look at the juice. That's 3 first-round picks next season. Like that's insane. And we still have a first-round pick here. Oh, I actually didn't know Dennis Dickerson was a 1-2. All right, Dennis Dickerson's the choice. Hidden development trade 91, strength, similar to the DT we got. Kennedy, who honestly, I don't remember doing anything. Did he even have a season? Like, was he even good? And even though this guy, I don't know all of his ratings, A, awareness, B, tackle, B, play rec, a lot of the kind of stuff that gets your overall up, and he's very athletic, I think I'm going to take the chance on him as we need to replace Devin White, 22-year-old star, whatever, hopefully. Wouldn't be the worst. It wouldn't be, but he's normal. Back to the best available pick. Oh, he's 22. Never mind. He's good, but 22. What about Josh Mason? This is a guy that EA suggested, also 22. Just non-positional needs, and they're 22. If they're 21, I take them. Do I take Joe Barker? He was very similar as well, but he's 22 as well, which, he's not starting. Screw it, dude. I'm never saying that again. Not bad. Very, very good, but raw as hell, so we just took really bad players in a row, but luckily we have a lot of draft picks next season. Wow, that was actually really bad now that I'm really thinking about it. Such an L. Chris Patchett, why not? New lineman, hidden development trade. Honestly, at that point, back-to-back normals, I was expecting yet another. I really was. Maybe overtraded a little bit, but we got to 84 with the Dolphins to grab a cornerback that I think looks decent. We did, speaking of, re-sign our superstar corner. That was the number 3 to a 4-year 28, which is a pretty, or maybe it's a 4-year 25. I think I'm thinking of the Byron Young contract, which is really solid for a superstar. But Devon Wheaton, decently athletic, 6'1". We're taking him. Normal development trade. And like I said, decently athletic, in fact. And honestly, next pick is probably a trade down, and then we're going to grab a kicker. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to grab the kicker that high because usually kickers go undrafted. But yeah, there's a kicker that looks all right. Got a 3rd-round pick from the Bengals off of this. I mean, it's decently high in the 4th, but still. We're kind of killing the draft when it comes to trade downs, but like I said, we're not going to be able to use those picks as the rebuild's done after this season. It's been up and down, up and down. At this point, we're replacing a lot of players, and it's just like, the team is like barely intact at this point. We've gone so far down the line, and there's a very good chance after this season, Devontae's like retired even, or very close to retirement. 6th round, I think, is probably good enough for the kicker. I'm pretty sure he was decent. I thought he had elite kick power. B accuracy with his kick power being great. Okay, it wasn't elite, but it's still good. Justin Hicks, 95 kick power, normal. He'll be the new kicker once Daniel Carlson's gone, assuming we can't afford him. And I just grabbed a hidden development trait tight end at the end of the class. Very good athleticism outside of the speed and agility, but that's still really good for a tight end. He had an F run block, but he did an A deep route. I was like, that's A deep route for a tight end? That's kind of strange, isn't it? But 22 mil and tons of draft picks going forward. 72, 73, 69, so a bit raw at the positions that kind of matter. Oh, he's a 59 overall. He's a 59 overall. That deep route is 72 in fairness, but his run block, they didn't lie about. He sucks. He's so strange. You look at those base ratings, the athleticism, you're like, oh, maybe we land ourselves a guy. Oh, he's superstar. What the hell is this? Bro, he is so strange. I don't even know what we just landed. Like, that dude is so weird. He's so weird. Dennis Dickerson, we did lose our left end. Is he the starter? Oh, he's definitely the starter. 78 block shed with 75 was a power move. What is it that we need? The left end, I believe. What's his dev? Star, man. Can we just get one superstar that isn't some, like, 72nd round freaking tight end? Of course, quarterback, this is the guy I wanted the most. And, he is hidden development trait. Definitely better than the other guy, I would imagine, because the other guy just wasn't projected high at all. Oh, he's superstar. And, of course, it looks like the freaking Broncos landed themselves a sick corner. He is 23, but could be a generational. 5'9", 84 zone is kind of weird. It's peculiar. Only star. Still a good pick, though. And then what was the other quarterback? We could have had that other quarterback if we wanted him, so hopefully he's not good. Oh, he's in it as well. He's a bit raw, but that's a good pick. I think he's good. He definitely doesn't look young. He looks like he's in his, like, freaking early 50s. Star dev, but that's still maybe would have been worth it. He is a low overall, though. I say he would have been worth it, but, like, let me show you. You know, assuming you're going to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo next season, let me show you what you have to work with. Okay, well, that was awkward. Let's wait till, you can see him down there, but let's wait till the season actually starts, shall we? That was a bit awkward, but we're here. We have 3 first-round picks, 3 third-round picks, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 2 sevenths, and obviously picks in between those rounds. I mean, if we even have, like, 3 picks in the top 20, you could easily get to 1. And you don't have to lose anything for the future. The amount of capital we have, like, we are the number 1 trade team for whoever has pick 1, assuming it's not in the division. Because nobody's going to give you that many picks in that draft, you know? Normally you have to wait. Here we go for our final season. We added Romeo Doubs, the new number 3. Doesn't look happy to be here. The offense is good as ever. Right tackle, maybe a little bit of a downgrade, but Bowl hasn't played well anyways. You know, Colt Miller's at 91 overall. He hasn't played well, so what can you really do about it? And then defensively, I mean, this is as good as it's going to get. You know, it's as good as it's going to get. Not our best work, but what can we do? You know, we've drafted pretty good players at most positions, a lot of hiddens, maybe not a whole lot of superstars, but wow, really, Banks does not want to develop. He's getting good ratings, but no zone or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, this is the best we can do. Other than getting a better quarterback throughout this time, which, I mean, other than Levis, there really wasn't many options. And Jimmy Garoppolo's played well. It's just, I think the defense really is playing badly. Why would it, you know, in the playoff seasons, you know, weakest link after a playoff season? It was the defense. Yeah, we're having a much better season, and once again, I've not changed the playbooks, so I don't know what happened from last year to this. Are we really going to have this fight again, Max? Please. I've given you 27 as the offer, and I want to do it over 1 year less than you've been at. Thank you! I would have offered last season. He's like, well, maybe it's not that easy to find a team. Of course, Dom McLeod. I don't like it. I don't like the money here. A 3-year, let's do a 4-year 70, I guess. Maybe, but not by that much. I'll tell you that much. Indeed, Kerry Ford, he's a center. He's an expensive center. He's a pass blocker. Nah, we're going to let him go. We can do better. We can do better for cheaper. That's all I can say. Sue is asking for, like, nothing here, by the way. Cheese the absolute hell out of him, let me tell you that much. And there's some other backups in here. Maybe the kicker punter gets re-signed. We'll see how much money we have left over. Jimmy Garoppolo's not asking for much. I think no matter what, you pay him this, right? Like a 1 year 14, even as a backup. I think he's now realizing, like, yeah, I might be a backup. So I'll let you guys. I see you guys are working on those draft picks. You're clearly gearing up for a takeover at quarterback. Let me step aside, but I want to get paid. I want another ring, and I want to get paid. All right, having a really good year. Can we steal the division, though? We cannot, as we are going to be playing the Browns in the wild card round. Definitely had a couple of losses in there that really sucked, especially that second Chiefs game where we win that game, we win the Broncos game, we're easily the number 1 seed, and we have the bye week. But instead, you know, here we are looking as peasants in the wild card round, having another away game. I will say, though, Jimmy Garoppolo, once again, throughout this entire rebuild, has been insane. Receivers, Washington with a lot of touchdowns, looking pretty good. Godwin, though, was terrible, despite the fact that Dobbs was not even, you know, that high on the list for the receivers, yet he was just good. You know, same catches but the like 250-yard difference. I'm just saying, Godwin kind of slacking. Tackles 3 guys over 100. Sack totals, Crosby was decent. Byron wasn't that great. McLeod 6.5 on the interior is not bad. Kennedy at DT 6.5 is not bad. Dickerson, the rookie, on the inside 5.5 is not bad. Interceptions kind of low. Carlson's been great. AJ Cole with a drop-off this season, though. Under 50 yards per punt. Usually he's like at 52. MVP? Who's MVP? Jake Hayner, the 71 overall. Interesting. Seems legit. And as usual, little to literal no award wins. All right, going against the league MVP here with the Cleveland Browns. 88 overall for them, 92 for us. Can we make it happen on our final season? A little bit of cloud coverage. Can we beat the 71 overall league MVP? That's the question. Good defensive start. 10-0, 10-7, 10-14. And halftime score will remain the same. Offense is really showing a lot here. Wow. Really good job, guys. I mean, it's looking great. Good little comeback, but it might be too little too late. Oh, maybe it's not, but they didn't get the 2-point game kind of all down to this. That is unfortunate. We're not blitzing, but we can blitz last second with Barrow. We're not going to. We're going to drop into some coverage over the middle, but he misses the throw. Some MVP you are, bum. 2 minutes left, and a field goal wins it. How the hell did they make the comeback? Field goal wins it. You don't need a touchdown. All you need is a field goal, but I know the way the EA is going to work. It's going to be like a 40-yard first play. Sacked. Nice drive so far. Bro! What is wrong with this game? And it's so annoying because like we always talk about it. It's like every single rebuild we say, what's wrong with the game? It's like, well, I mean, nothing has changed, has it? Like, why are we taking up every second we've ever earned moving the ball 7 yards? Like, why? Why are we doing this? It is Dulong. What is that name? Interesting. Well, he's going to be the guy. He's a 0 overall, but he's a god. Huge play, field goal for the win, which I can't delegate. Okay, here we go. Don't you do it, Carlson, don't. He hit it, I think. I seen the number move. He's him. He's him. What a drive. What a game. The rookie was good, but Jimmy Garoppolo showing him a little bit of veteran poise, if you will. No interceptions from him. Offense really wasn't great. Jackson. Look at Njigba. 240 with a 2 touchdown. That's insane. Our defense should not be giving up that. Holland with an interception, who's been super silent since we signed him, by the way. All right, here we go to the divisional round. Who is it against? It is the Titans, 12-5. Is that one of the first-round picks we actually have from? 83 overall. Glad to see it. Here we go. Chance to get to the championship round. I don't think we've gotten to that yet, actually, have we? We've gotten to the divisional, but we haven't won. Have we got to the championship? I don't even know, but let's get a Super Bowl. We definitely haven't done that. 14-10. A lot of scores at the second quarter. Come on, offense. Nice drive. Defense giving up 3. That's okay. Offense can win it with a touchdown. And will they? They will to the championship round. Defense really coming up in that one clutchly. Not giving up a whole lot of points there. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't great, but he was slinging that thing. And we got 4 touchdowns on offense. Devontae was decent. A.T. Perry, 2 touchdowns, but not a whole lot of yards. Dickerson was good. Kaiser White with a sack. He must be playing edge for them, which is weird. An interception for Farrell and Peters, or Farrell, and then White with an interception. To the championship round against the Bengals. 92 overall to their 80. What was that? 7? Here it is. Winner is a Super Bowl contender. I mean, we're both Super Bowl. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. What's the bottom? Who is it? Niners versus Seattle. So I will say our first-round picks do kind of look to be bad, so you definitely want to win it here because our quarterback situation might get real ugly. 7-0, 14-0. They get 7, though. I thought we were going to walk away with it. We're still looking good, though. But they don't want to go away, man. Nice drives. Defense is not playing up to par. There you go. There you go. Offense carrying it this time. It's a team game, baby. 38-17. I will say, though, the defense, they did only hold they held them to the 17 points, which for the Bengals is low. Jimmy G with a game and a half. Maybe this man wants to earn a real Super Bowl here in this season. I think he's well on his way to potentially doing that. Devin White with an interception. I actually haven't taken no shot. Did they ruin Darnell Washington? We got to take a look. Oh my God. I almost appreciate it because I haven't seen this. The game, I'm pretty sure it just develops whatever the highest archetype is. I don't pay attention to that because like blocking is almost never the highest archetype for a player. They ruined the 6'7" giant, dude. He's still playing well at least, but he's 86 run block. He's 86 run block. He's basically a lineman, bro. His catching is only 84. His catching traffic's 80. His route running's like below 70 across. Oh my God, they ruined him. They actually ruined him. I would say like that would probably be closer to where he would be, right? 90 overall makes a little more sense. He'd probably be faster than that, but I'm not going to touch that. Awareness is only 74, which is weird for a blocking guy. We kind of cheated there a little bit, but the EAs, I mean, what tight end is being developed as a run blocker? What are they doing? A blocker, dude. Are you serious? They ruined him. That is intriguing, to say the least, but wow. I have never seen such a crap job of developing a player, ever. Seattle in the Super Bowl with us. Jimmy Garoppolo finally gets the superstar. How the hell did... Actually, Washington, a lot of touchdowns, never mind. I was about to say, how? I was about to look at his ratings, or stats, but I remember that he did actually have a year. Jimmy Garoppolo finally gets a superstar. We do have him on the contract, though, for one more year, so... Even if we can't find a quarterback, we're set at least. Defensively, no dev-ups, but the team's good. It's a 92 overall. Win or lose, it's been absolutely a win in this rebuild, and they're actually a really good overall. But, yeah, let's see it. Can we win a Super Bowl? We're in one at least. To the end of the game. 0-all so far. 7-0. Damn, our defense, or our offense is really struggling here. 7-10. Very low-scoring Super Bowl so far. Drive down for the field goal. They get a huge touchdown. They get another touchdown. Defense got to make a play. They do. Offense gets the touchdown. Down by 7. Are we about to score? Oh, they're about to score. How many interceptions, Jimmy? Jimmy? All I have to ask you is how many interceptions? That's all I need to know, because I know it's a lot. Godwin 101, maybe. What's his release? Really not good enough. Devontae barely getting him. And he drops it wide open. 2 interceptions, Jimmy. Way to go. Devontae just drops the ball wide open. This team's not very good right now, huh? Let's see it, Devontae. I just threw it up to Godwin. And, I mean, it goes into his hands. 4th down. Yeah, not a great job by me, but also looking at the clock, I'm basically thinking it's 40-yard plays at a time because... Clock's an enemy as well. We lost 24-38 to the Seahawks, unfortunately. And that is going to be it for this rebuild, sadly. 2 interceptions for Jimmy G and Tua. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Can't turn the ball over like that. You just can't turn the ball over like that. And defense was horrible in general. Very bad defense. Interceptions for them, obviously none for us. And that's going to be it for our Las Vegas Raiders realistic style rebuild. I will say, in fairness, it's not, the worst in the world. A bunch of playoff performances and a couple of wins in there. Got to the Super Bowl here, just couldn't win one. But hey, if Jimmy G plays anything like he has in this rebuild, the whole NFL world is going to have to give him and, the Raiders organization some apologies. And Raiders fans are going to be shocked, let me tell you that. But as far as what we want to see, let's take a look at some of the developments of our players. Josh Jacobs. I will say there's really not many players to look at because, Darnell we just edited unfairly probably. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, he's regressed. Devontae's regressed. Godwin's regressed. Colton Miller, how is he so bad at blocking when his pass blocking is through the roof? I guess Osiris Torrance is someone to look at. Very good power blocker. That's what I like to see, baby. Look at that. He's like 90 plus in all the ratings that matter. Even his, finesse blocking is not terrible. Looking at defense, I guess Devin White. He was able to somehow develop really well. Like, I don't know how he did it, but he's really good for us. Very good signing. Byron Young. 84 overall. Not bad, considering he didn't play right away. Look at him. 88 power move, 80 block shed, fast as hell. That's a winner. That is a win. Let's take a look at Banks. I believe his zone coverage kind of sucks, but he is a speed demon. He's only 24. How is that even fair? Look how fast he is. Then I suppose we have Hobbs, who's probably regressing or about to regress. Very good in zone coverage, not so good in man coverage, so kind of the opposite of Mr. Deontay. Terrell Smith, guy that probably gets the job, probably maybe even next season. Insane man coverage, super athletic, also superstar development traits. Very weird kind of situation, but I felt like he just, Hobbs is supposed to be that guy for them, and everyone else is supposed to fall in line, but Smith is probably worth the contract, or worth the start anyways. He got the contract. McLeod, 96 power move, which is insane. And then Kennedy, I guess we'll take a look at. I don't really care too much about Dickerson. He just came along this season. And then we'll take a look at Max Crosby. Kennedy with that block shed, power move, finesse, neither very that good. Very that good, I said it. And then Max Crosby, 99 overall. Jesus, that block shed's not great, but that's speed. 87 speed, 91 excel. Absolutely insane. Look at how many traits he has. How is it even fair? Anyways, that is going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, I really debate about going for Will Levis, and there's a chance that they do, but like I said, I just feel like that would be, pick 4. I think pick 4 is Will Levis, if anything. But I don't know. Maybe I should have went with a QB anyways. But they did spend a decent bit on Jimmy. Like I said, with the way their contracts are set up, they don't absolutely have to play him. So, it would look kind of bad, but it's a safety net kind of situation, and they could definitely get a rookie quarterback, even just to develop him. But as far as Madden's concerned, if I had to spend the first season, which Jimmy Garoppolo clearly proved that he was good enough to start, with Jimmy Garoppolo, that would be, a 73 overall maybe? Will Levis, who has 24 years of age under the belt? I don't know if that's really worth it. Anyways, though, if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK plays for non-Madden content. I don't know when. Once again, this week specifically, been a little bit of a weird schedule for the second channel, so I apologize there for some of you guys that actually do watch those videos, which I really appreciate. And yeah, just for in general, the regular schedule for this channel, a little all over the place this week. Probably 2 videos tomorrow and then another rebuild on Sunday. And after that, I think rebuilds will definitely be slowing down to, at best, 2 a week. Unless, once again, there's some crazy contracts that, get signed or some trades that happen. But like I said, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!